God damn it! Dogs are going wild.
Robo-dog, arf, arf. Need food. Initiating pissing on furniture. Welcome to the XyCast. This is episode 4. Our guests later are Dewey Barnes and Norv Fernum. I can't believe we've made it this far to episode 4. I am joined, as always, by Eddie.
Sup.
And Brian.
He really likes to use sup as his intro, doesn't he?
You want to come fight?
Fight, Eddie, fight.
You're damn right. Kill Brian, kill him. Wait.
All right. As always, we start off with wrestling news. Now, we have been gone for 2 weeks. We were supposed to have an interview with Big Bully Busick. Unfortunately, that wasn't able to happen, and things kind of fell apart, and we decided not to have an episode last week. But older news, Ring of Honor debuted on Destination America on June 3rd, which was 2 weeks ago. So I'm glad I can finally watch Ring of Honor. Oh, that's right. I still won't get Destination America. Wah, wah.
With me as a TNA fan, I am really happy that I can finally now watch Ring of Honor on Destination America right before Impact Wrestling, which is really cool. And I personally enjoy it after a couple of weeks of actually watching.
Awesome. You know, a lot of the shows, like, you know, regular non-wrestling TV shows I watch, they're on break right now, so I'm gonna have to check out some ROH as well as TNA. I gotta catch up. But it's very cool that they're on, like, national TV. Once again, I want to say they were on TV before, right? Was it like Fox Sports or something like that? They
still are on TV on the Fox channels Saturdays and Sundays. So that show gets replayed Wednesdays. So they're still on like twice a week.
Yeah. That's cool. So Samoa Joe worked a match before Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago in San Antonio, Texas. He also signed a full-time contract with WWE once he fulfills all of his current indie shows, including his ROH shows, as far as we know. So Samoa Joe is now officially in WWE, which I never really thought would happen. I always saw him staying with TNA.
Just like Sting and WWE?
Yeah, it's true. Sting, Hulk Hogan, all of them. Yeah. It seems like a very it's more open now. Like wrestlers going back and forth, kind of like the old days almost, except not as like scandalous. Now it's more commonplace. Wrestling has evolved.
Then for the TNA news of the week, Dixie Carter announced that Slammiversary will be on Flips TV. Same thing with Ring of Honor's Best in the World this Friday, the 19th. And TNA, or Dixie Carter, revealed a new X Division Championship this past Monday, June 15th. It's pretty much, it's right. Not new to a point, like how people would think. It's just like a different color, which I wouldn't qualify as new.
It's green.
You know.
It's green. It looks really weird because green, I don't normally see green on like wrestling belts or anything.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't this the first championship to have green on it?
I think so. I'm not I'm only familiar with like the mainstream belts. WWE has never had a green belt. There's been red and blue. I've seen other belts, and I've never seen green, at least as a prominent color, so it's kind of weird.
We pretty much only have to mention this because they added him to his Hall of Fame, but Donald Trump is running for president next year. Who really cares? Next.
Yeah, it's like, whatever, who cares? I don't. I don't want to get political on this podcast, but he does not have any good ideas for the running of this company. I'm sorry, for this country. That was actually a Freudian slip there. I didn't actually mean to say company. But any guy who's willing to treat the country like a company, I don't know. It seems kind of... I just don't want to be downsized by Donald Trump. I don't want him to become president and then say, you're fired. So Jillian Hall was the victim of the so-called knockout game. Fortunately, she wasn't, according to her, she wasn't knocked down, let alone knocked out. Probably because of her wrestling training. I'm sure she's used to getting a little beaten up. Whoever attacked her made a bad choice. I'm wondering if Jillian Hall even had a chance to defend herself or do anything back to the kid. But she posted pictures of her face on her Instagram. Her Instagram username is Jillian Hall 1, the number 1. But she was sucker punched in a parking lot. I thought that the knockout game was like a hoax, and it probably started out as one. But people are stupid, man. This is fucking ridiculous. But yeah, her face is bruised up. Well, yeah, you can find them on her Instagram. Pretty insane. Speaking of things getting hit, The Rock, of all people, sideswiped a parked truck while he was driving, listening to music, whatever. He ended up breaking the guy's side view mirror. Luckily, the owner of the truck was very cool with it, of course, since he's The Rock and all. The Rock even offered to pay for the damage, but when he got in touch with the owner later, the owner had apparently already fixed it himself. Yeah. I would have taken the money and then bragged to my friends that The Rock had to pay me money. Like, yeah, The Rock gave me a few $100 because he hit my car, but he's a really cool guy. But yeah, he had to pay me.
He's still got a pretty good story to tell.
Oh yeah, I mean that's worth it. It's worth what is it, like $50, $100 to have my mirror broken, just to interact with The Rock. It's worth it.
2K has released the first set of character art for the upcoming WWE 2K16 video game, showing renders of Bad News Barrett, Dean Ambrose, Paige, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and Daniel Bryan. A screenshot from the dev build also leaked online and showed that Nikki Bella, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Hideo Itami, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Kevin Owens are also in the game. The game will be released on PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. There's no mention of PC yet.
Was there mention of PC for 2K15? Because I don't remember that, but
no, they got to it later.
Yeah, I mean, so it's still a possibility that 2K16 will be out on PC. But I just hope that it's better than 2K15. 2K15 was shit. I regret purchasing it. It was not worth it. I mean, it was great having the ability to custom make your own logos, to put them on T-shirts, make your own tattoos, make your own faces and stuff. But you couldn't create women wrestlers, which is the dumbest thing ever. I still don't understand how they made the choice to leave that out in return for other features, which I don't know how they could even justify that. Honestly, it's not only inconvenient, but it just seems very discriminatory almost. The men are in, women don't really matter because we need people to upload their own logos. And also, I don't know if they have posted an update yet or what, but you were not able to use custom music for your entrance themes in 2K15 on either on either current gen or next gen, which I thought was really, yeah. So the whole point of creating a wrestler is you get the opportunity to create a custom wrestler, and I'm not going to use Randy Orton's theme for my guy who like none of the themes fit. And I mean, they still had. I believe they still had the production tracks that they used for like random wrestlers. You know, the themed music, the different styles. But also the create an entrance was also lacking. There was hardly any options there, even with the DLC, character add-ons. There was very few options for entrance animation. Like they cut out a bunch of them. It was crap. So hopefully 2K16 I mean, like, I understand because they didn't have as much time as they should to make the game. It was kind of like handed off to them, I believe, from THQ, I think. I'm not really sure. But so this time they really don't have any excuse. They better be fully featured, create an entrance with all the custom entrances they could put in there, create a male and female wrestler, custom themes because the PS4 supports it now. I'm sure the Xbox One does too. There's no excuse. So if it's anything short of, I mean, it's not even like asking much. Just put in the basics, This is stuff that like, WWF No Mercy had. It's not asking for much.
I honestly didn't know all that. Kind of makes me glad I haven't gotten around to playing it.
Yeah, it's. I rented it for the PS3 because I hadn't bought the PS4 yet. And it was okay. It was kind of like 2K14. Yeah, 2K14. But again, even for the PS3, you couldn't use custom music, so it was still lacking. You could still create women, but it was the old create a wrestler system. For the next gen, for the next gen consoles, they did revamp the create a wrestler, system, but at the expense of losing the ability to create women, which is inexcusable, in my opinion. But anyway. Filmmaker Eric Angra posted on Twitter a picture of former WWE star Chyna, who was visiting the WWE headquarters recently. Angra is currently raising money via Kickstarter for a documentary about Chyna. I believe it's called
One Night in China?
One day in China. No, I thought it was called the rebuilding of China. Oh no, the reconstruction of China. I guess she just broke it into pieces and now they got to reconstruct her. But a reliable WWE source apparently noted that the company has had no official communication with China, and that when she was in Stamford, it wasn't for any official scheduled WWE meeting of any kind. So I don't know if she was trying to get a meeting or just wanted to take a picture there, maybe shoot some footage, an establishing shot of WWE headquarters. Who knows?
I think she just wanted a picture to generate publicity. Like, oh, here's a picture of me in front of the WWE logo. I'm at their headquarters because everybody's going to start talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's very true. But actually, you know what? I looked at the Kickstarter, and in a way, I feel bad for Chyna. She deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, despite the porn work that she's done, any publicity, errors that she's made. She did a lot for wrestling. She was an important part of WWF and the Attitude Era and stuff. So I actually contributed $15 to it, just so I could get my name in the credits. So if anybody watches that documentary when it comes out, which I think is this fall, they said, or next year, you'll see my name somewhere in the ending credits. So some sad news to report. Wrestling legend Tommy Rogers, one half of the Fantastics, passed away on June 1st at the age of 54. And as you heard, part of our intro, we paid a little tribute to Dusty Rhodes. WWE Hall of Famer Dusty Rhodes passed away on June 11th at the age of 69. So, may they both rest in peace. And our thoughts and prayers go out to their family, especially Stardust and Goldust. I'm sure they're hurting right now.
And for those unaware, at Money in the Bank, they had all the superstars come out.
Right.
And I must watch that like about 4 or 5 times, and I cannot spot Cody or Stardust at all.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, yeah. They had a 10 ring, a 10 bell ring,
10 bell salute.
Salute. Yeah. And side note, Fred Ottman, his son is the timekeeper for them, or one of the timekeepers, and he was the one that rang the bell during that.
Wow.
Yeah, he Fred posted on Facebook, but yeah, I mean he from what it sounds like, Dusty has even to this day touched the lives of a lot of wrestlers, including the the NXT men and women coming up. He was the trainer for a while, I think, in the beginning. And yeah, I mean, like Sami Zayn posted a few stories about him. Kevin Owens changed his name, I think, for a bit to Kip Stern, which is a name that Dusty Rhodes mistakenly called him. So, I mean, there are a lot of interesting stories online.
Then if you go watch the Money in the Bank kickoff when they did the Dusty Rhodes tribute, like the last 10, 15 minutes or something like that. And you listen, like, pay attention to Renee Young. You can sound she's like really heartbroken over that.
Oh yeah,
like very like stuttering and stuff. Then when they cut back to her, you can see like she started to cry a bit.
Oh wow, I didn't watch the pre-show, but I'll catch it later.
It's like 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, I was actually at that arena and at the queue for Money in the Bank and Raw.
Nice.
And the feeling in it, like everybody like stopped everything for that couple minutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And
then when actually a couple times before Raw went on the air and Money in the Bank, everybody was chanting "Thank you, Dusty, Dusty, American Dream," all that for like a half hour.
Wow.
And then like across from us where we were sitting for Money in the Bank, basically where we were sitting for Raw, one guy had like a huge gigantic drawn sign of the American Dream. I'm sure that made it to the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I didn't notice it, but I'm sure it did. That's awesome.
Oh, I noticed it. Just like these nuts.
The sign. These nuts. Oh boy.
And for those that don't know and are in our Facebook group, I'll post that photo when this gets put, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
You should post. Actually, you know what we do? Does the XyCast doesn't have like a Facebook page or anything? It probably should.
Yeah, make that right now. Edit this part out, Michael, too. Can make that.
Yeah. Don't have to edit it out. All right, yeah.
Then Brian wants you to mention the TMZ thing.
Oops, I wasn't on. Hold on. Damn it, I am all fucked up here. Mention the TMZ. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, TMZ, the group of shitty-ass people, they released the 911 call that occurred when Dusty Rhodes collapsed. Fuck TMZ. That's classless. That's just wrong. Fucking scumbags, That's really, really scummy. Now we are going to talk about Money in the Bank, which aired this past Sunday, June 14th. Eddie, you were there, right?
You're damn right I was.
Yeah.
For those that didn't know or now just about to find out, Kane was doing a book signing at the bookstore 2 minutes from the Schottenstein Center and 5 minutes from the Nationwide. And we got to meet him beforehand. And of course, there's that WWE camera guy pointing the camera directly at me for like a couple minutes or whatever. And then we got to the Nationwide Arena. And before I get into more detail, the reason I sound so weird is because I lost my voice pretty much this night. Then Raw was the night after. So then we met Neville like maybe a half hour after we stood in line back there. And he was a real cool guy. And we saw like every superstar come in. Like Heath Slater, obviously, the Bella Twins, and this guy. Wait, what are you talking about? Kane. Wait.
Sorry, I have Kane, Kofi Kingston, Neville, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Sheamus. Who else was there?
Ziggler.
Ah, that's right. Okay, thanks. All right, continue.
And then we got into line about 3-ish. I think. I don't remember that. And by like 5:30, it was going down to the road and turning around. So it was real cool to see that. And they said, what, over 15,200 or something? And then the next night on Raw, it was like almost the entire upper like cheap seats were all tarped off.
Yeah.
So it's like we had like a Loudy crowd one night, and the next night it was like that, dead.
Oh.
And then boom, Dewey coming back to Columbus January 18th for Raw, when originally this Raw was supposed to be in Cleveland, but now finally a Raw is coming back to Columbus for the first time at this January in 3 years, which is real cool.
Nice. Yeah, they're WWE's coming back to my area, Providence, Rhode Island, in August. And if I had the money, I would have gotten seats that were like 4 rows behind where like the timekeeper and Lillian sit. But alas, I don't have the money. Too bad. And
speaking of that, somehow randomly I got an email because I'm a part of their like mailing list, whatever.
Yeah.
DVD's coming to Providence, and I got that same email you did.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't get an email. I think they sent it to you instead of me. Yeah, I didn't get one. Yeah. I only saw during the ads for Raw this past Monday. I was like, oh, they're back in Providence, and I looked at Ticketmaster.com, and it was $121 each ticket for the area just behind the timekeeper, row D, which is the 4th row back, and seats 8 and 9, which aren't that far. So we could have probably seen some action in those seats, but oh well. So, Money in the Bank started out with the pre-show match, which was King Barrett versus R-Truth, and the winner was R-Truth. I did not watch this match, unfortunately. I started the pay-per-view like an hour and a half late. Any thoughts, Eddie? Any live thoughts on that match? R-Truth defeating King Barrett?
Decent match. When you sub Bad News Barrett does like a little promo, that's when you could sub one of our signs.
Nice.
And I almost want to say I held up the XyCast sign during that match at one point.
Cool.
But I don't know if it made television or not. But definitely, I know I held it up within the first like half hour of the actual pay-per-view. I want to say it was shown during this match. So I was looking up at the Jumbotron.
Nice.
I saw our section and I held it up, so I don't know if it actually made it.
Maybe, yeah.
But it made it to a point, but not on television like Brian was saying.
Nice. The Money in the Bank ladder match started out the main pay-per-view. It was Dolph Ziggler, Kane, Kofi Kingston, Neville, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Sheamus. And the winner was Sheamus. Roman Reigns was about to grab the briefcase when Bray Wyatt all of a sudden interfered. The lights went out. A few seconds later, it came back on, and Bray Wyatt was there. He attacked Roman Reigns and allowed Sheamus to grab the briefcase. I just want to say right off the bat, I have so much apathy for Sheamus. I don't care. So when I saw him win, it actually like upset me because I was looking forward to, somebody that interested me having the briefcase, and there was always a possibility that he would cash it in. But Sheamus, I really don't care. He could cash it in against whoever, and I'd be like, whatever. Even Brock Lesnar. Sorry, go ahead.
You were hoping for Kofi to win?
Honestly, I was hoping for anybody, even Kane. But maybe not Kane. But I honestly thought that like Neville might win it. Like they've been pushing him, and I thought maybe if they pushed him even harder by winning this, that would be very interesting. But maybe it's not his time. But I think everybody was expecting either Dolph or Roman Reigns to win. I thought Dolph would have.
Definitely in our section, people were like for Dolph.
Yeah.
And who's the other guy? I know they're hating on Roman Reigns. I know that.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because like everybody behind us was hating on us, which was like 15, 16 rows or whatever, and the people like in front of us, the first 4 rows, were like cheering for him. So it was like real weird. Like we were like cut off on like we were like cheer for Roman or do we boo him? Which is real weird.
That is very weird.
And then of course the Bray Wyatt return. Nobody saw it coming. Ryan, shove it there. And then the second he returned, everybody just like freaked out. That's where I lost my voice the first time, pretty much. And I lost it. I wouldn't say the first time because I pretty much lost it during the match for Kofi Kingston. Because when he went through the ladder, I screamed he died for the day. I don't know if that made it to television or not. And several other times, like he's doing it for the day and everything. So which is this Bray Wyatt thing was like the second time I lost my voice, which I'm sounding more or worse as this is going on. So.
And then after that was the
oh God.
Yeah. The Divas Championship match. Nikki Bella, the Divas Champion, versus Paige for the WWE Divas Championship. The Bellas went for Twin Magic again, even though they look nothing alike anymore. But at least this time, Brie like patted her bra, and I guess to quiet those of us who say that their boobs are different sizes, and I guess that was their answer to that. They went for Twin Magic. Brie goes in, but Paige countered and then pinned Brie. Paige was originally announced as the new Divas Champion, so I actually walked away really quick, and I came back, and the match was going back on. And then they announced that Nikki was the winner. And I was very confused, but then when they showed the replay, it showed that Brie confessed to the ref that she wasn't Nikki, which apparently resulted in a restart of the match instead of, a disqualification because she's not in the match and she interfered. Technically, she went to attack Paige. That's a disqualification, but I guess they can weasel their way around it maybe and say, it wasn't a successful attack, and those haven't counted as a DQ, but I don't know. But Nikki capitalized with a forearm and a rack attack to win and retain the Divas Championship.
When Paige actually got the pin, everybody was again freaking out and everything.
Oh yeah.
But then when it was reversed and all that Twin Magic, everybody just absolutely hated it.
Oh,
it seemed like it was a Russo finish at the best. This was like all of Russo's work just into that ending.
Right.
Which was very disappointing.
Definitely. The next match was The Big Show versus Ryback, the current champion, for the Intercontinental Championship. At least it's no longer the Interclusterfuck Championship. The winner was The Big Show by disqualification. So, of course, he didn't get the belt. The Miz was the guest commentator for this match. At some point during the match, he interfered, attacking both men. But because he attacked Big Show first, Big Show won by disqualification. The commentators even said that was why. Which, so stupid. I don't know. I wanted some kind of a clean win, but I guess they're going to draw this out a little. Maybe even have a triple threat match, who knows. And
then, for those that want to spot me or whatever, when Ryback does his like celebration, and he's like in the corner where he normally enters, you'll see a sign that says like "Hi Celeste, Mason, Toby, Jimmy, Izzy, and Charles."
Nice.
That's like your time to spot me.
Awesome.
And I remember when we came home that night, Brian was sending me messages like, "You had your perfect opportunity to do the XyCast sign, the Xylot sign, and you blew it."
I know, yeah.
Which I hated, man.
That's all right.
But when Miz actually walks back, I held up the XyCast sign immediately so he could have shut up right there. But
yeah,
how Brian is over this.
the next match was John Cena versus Kevin Owens. This was a non-title match again. John Cena defeated Kevin Owens. After the match, Cena tries to shake hands with Owens, but Owens attacks him and powerbombs him onto the ring apron. Yeah. Any thoughts there?
Give me like 1 second. I'm currently eating.
All right.
This is my calm time. Man, wow. It's rushing me over here.
Eat, Eddie, eat.
Shut up. And then, speaking of that, if you go watch Kevin Owens' entrance, you'll obviously see the breakfast together and all that. And then you will see, right before the fight Owens fight in the American flag, you'll see my fight Owens fight and Davies Be the People, since we got close up there too.
Oh,
and of course, Brian would say, obviously he's saying, you could have held up the XyCast sign.
Yeah.
But of course, they were showing the entrance video on the TV above and the Tron, so I didn't know exactly if that was the time to do it. So, hey, at least XyCast got shown at least once during the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, and there's still time. There's plenty of time to rep the XyCast there.
3 hours worth.
Yeah. So for those of you listening, Brian is muted because we killed him. It was Brian's turn to be killed. So yeah, we'll try to resurrect him later, but I'm not going to make it.
How do you like that, man?
Yeah, Brian's dead. All right. Next up, the New Day versus the Primetime Players for the Tag Team Championship. The New Day lost to Primetime Players.
I hated that.
Primetime Players, the new Tag Team Champions, when Titus pinned Xavier.
I hated that.
With the Clash of the Titus to win the belts. Yeah.
I absolutely hated that.
Unfortunately, New Day sucked. New Day sucked.
Did you see the New Day socks sign?
What is it?
A New Day socks, as in instead of socks, it's socks.
Oh,
it was showing when Xavier was no, that part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it was showing right there.
Yeah.
And then speaking of signs, going back a little bit, during the R-Truth Kofi Kingston match,
oh yeah,
there was the Barry Ryder sign. And the second that got put up, the announcers were starting to laugh a little bit.
Yeah. Nice.
Which was hysterical.
I
don't know if they were laughing at what R-Truth said, but the second that sign went up, they were laughing.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
That's funny.
And then, before we go into the next match, this tag team title win should have been 2-3 years ago when they were red hot instead of in 2015.
I know. Yeah. It's
It'd be Ryback winning the WWE Championship now.
Yeah.
And then a couple years ago, he could have broke this Punk's title reign and won it there. But now it would make absolutely no sense.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. So the main event was a ladder match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. And of course, Seth Rollins won and retained the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Both men climbed the ladder and grabbed the belt, but when they fell, Rollins was the one who had possession of it, and so he won that match. It was a very close match. It was very good. It was a very, very awesome match.
Not as awesome as Owens and Cena.
How was it live with all the the drops onto the ladders and all that? Was it loud?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Not loud as pyro loud, but loud. And we had a rowdy section too.
Oh yeah.
That helped a lot.
That's awesome.
Which the guys behind us were Cena, Owens fans, and I believe there was one kid catty corner to us. Yep. I was a huge John Cena fan, so it was there's a fight going on, but not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was real perfect spot. It was that this same night at Raw.
That's
awesome.
Which
was real cool.
Yeah. That's cool. Very cool. And that's pretty much Money in the Bank. Did anything happen after Money in the Bank? After that match? Anything extra?
Yeah. The Dean Ambrose did a segment in the ring, which I showed Brian.
Oh, yeah.
And when Dean Ambrose was in our corner, or our corner of the ring or whatever, I held up the XyCast sign, so there's another showing of that for Monday Night. I think there's more, but I still have to watch the actual pay-per-view in full.
That's awesome.
Right now, tallied-wise, is like 3 or 4. Not as much as Raw.
Yeah.
After the pay-per-view and everything get let out or whatever, we went to the Waffle House on Dublin Granville Road, which is 10 minutes-ish from the arena. And we were there for about 15 minutes or so, give or take. And Byron Sexton comes up to do his order of egg whites. So he likes egg whites. You heard it first here on the XyCast. And we were sitting at the bar-like table. You know what I'm talking about? Where you have your seats like right by the thing. And there's like 6 seats or something like that. And we had the second, third, and fourth. And he came up to the first to do his order. And Mom was like, that's somebody. And I was like, that's Byron. And it was real cool to meet him. We talked to him for a couple minutes and everything. Which he's a real cool guy, by the way.
Cool. Yeah.
Now we can get into the Raw review.
Yeah. He seems like it.
And every single one of these photos with wrestlers have the Xylot shirt. So I was representing the Heart.
Awesome.
Kane.
That's very cool.
As of right now, it's Kane, Byron, and Neville. And there's a few more I'm going to get into here in a couple minutes during the review.
That's cool. Definitely. All right. Now we go to the Monday Night Raw review, Monday, June 15th, this past Monday night. Eddie was also at that Raw.
It was at the Quick Loans Arena in Cleveland. It was Raw episode 1151, which we never get like a 10th episode or like a 5th, because last year was 1099. This year was 1051, and back in February it was Raw 1133.
Nice.
We cannot get that special episode for some reason. Then before this show, we went over to the hotel where they normally enter at, but they weren't entering because of the Cavs game this past Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Which was their biggest game of the year. And so then we walked back down to Tower City, which is a lot of walking, by the way. And then we went over to the trucks where they were parked, because we saw that when we were coming in. So we had to get off the 9th exit, I believe. And then we walked over to the trucks. We took like photos of every single one of them. And for those that don't know, it's like where the trucks are parked, it's right by Progressive Field and seeing distance of the Wolstein Center. And when we were about coming back, because it was a real long like driveway they were parked in, we were like maybe the second or third truck. Neville and Paige just like drove past us, and then we like kind of kept an eye where they were like going, because Neville like, kept on going and Paige turned around, and then we found out where they're coming in and out at, because then we saw like a couple of kids and people standing where they were coming or where they're at.
Yep.
A couple minutes later, the Bellas passed us, Jack Swagger, who else? Mark Henry, Rusev, Lana, and a few others. And and keep an eye out on Total Divas, because there was a car right behind them with a camera. We don't know if it was recording or not. So we might have been represented on Total Divas. So
that'd be cool.
We were, but I wasn't wearing the Xylot shirt at the time.
That's all right.
Because I didn't have one, so.
Yeah.
By the way, it was episode Mo Marriage, Mo Problems in September. Cheap plug. Then there were 2 before. Then 2 minutes after that, I believe, The Miz came out. Or driving. Right. There was a beer guy, because it was right by our bar. He said, I'll give you a beer, free one, if you take a photo and do stuff with these fans. He got out. No beer was ever given. Alright. Then he came out to do photos and all that. Real cool guy. Again, represented. Then we went over to the queue after that. Again, tired as hell, by the way, because it was like 75 or 80 or whatever. And at this point we walked 4 or 5 miles. And then we stood in line, obviously. 4:30ish or around there, maybe. I don't know. Brad Maddox came up to us, pretty much, doing a live stream on Periscope, which we were live on Periscope. Brian's favorite thing. Then he came up to us like, "You good guys, cast fans, that made a BS excuse, if you will." And then we got a photo of him. And when I was getting my photo taken with him, he put his phone so we was at the selfie mode. So then we were like live on Periscope right then and there. Too bad we can't actually go watch that video. Now we can go into the actual Raw review after 15 minutes of me blabbering about stuff before.
All right, yeah. That's
and
all right.
Maddox lives.
Mad Braddox. All right, so Raw opened up with Seth Rollins coming out, bragging about his win at Money in the Bank the night before. Dean Ambrose comes out and chases him off. And then he sits in the ring and says that he is not going anywhere until Seth comes back. Backstage, Seth tells Triple H and Stephanie that they need to kick Dean Ambrose out of the ring. And that Triple H needs to think about the future, I think. And then Triple H said that they're deciding on Seth's newest opponent for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt.
I cannot wait to get into that part.
Yeah, the first mention of that, I didn't really hit me. I was kind of like, okay, yeah, his next opponent, whatever. And then later on, I'll tell you that. But yeah, it was awesome.
Then, if you guys want to spot us, or the XyCast sign, when Dean was sitting in the ring before the backstage thing, or right after, the camera's again pointing to us, and on the Tron and the big 4K TV they have, it was showing the TV version. So then I held up the sign right then and there. It was like maybe 10 seconds it was up. So if those listening came from Raw, you're welcome. Enjoy the show.
Nice. The first match is Dean Ambrose versus Sheamus. Sheamus was distracted by Randy Orton. Dean Ambrose ducked a brogue kick and then won the match with a roll-up. The match was okay. I mean, I love Dean Ambrose, but Sheamus, I care so little about him that he actually brings down my enjoyment of that match.
It was all right. I mean, it wasn't like an Owens and Cena. It was like, trying to be, I don't know what match could even have so many. I don't know. But then, after that, you forgot to talk about that. During Rollins' thing, they were saying about championships in Cleveland, which was good heel heat. Especially since, Cleveland hasn't won a national championship in over 50 years.
The next match was a rematch. R-Truth versus King Barrett. The winner, again, was R-Truth. It was funny. Truth came out with an outfit that mocked, King Barrett. He had like a sheet as his robe and some weird fake crown, and he didn't know that he had a match. And but he still won by roll up. The second match
under 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is the second match where somebody won by roll up.
Then pretty much every single WWE event we go to, besides TLC in December, R-Truth is there no matter what.
Yeah,
it's starting to get a little annoying. Give us Heath Slater or somebody fresh.
Yeah, right. Yeah, R-Truth is.
Yeah, R-Truth is a good wrestler and all that, but just after the second or third time, it's just okay, give me somebody new.
I like him.
Have NXT,
right?
And a SmackDown roster.
You know what? I like R-Truth. They need to push him, not more, but better. They
push him out of Ohio.
They never seem to know what the hell to do with him and a few others too. But yeah, no. So after that match, Kevin Owens comes out.
Wait, it was a commercial.
Huh?
It was a commercial. They were showing stuff on the Tron.
Oh, what stuff?
I want to say it was here or after Kane's match.
Yeah.
They showed this thing for when they come back in September.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it was here. I don't know.
Yeah.
They did 4 times or something like that.
Oh yeah, there's still stuff. All right, so after the R-Truth Barrett match, Kevin Owens comes out, says that John Cena isn't here tonight, and that's Cena's fault. Kevin Owens says that he beat Cena once and then went backstage, but when Cena won, he stuck around to, quote, disrespect him. So he did what was necessary. And since Cena isn't around to issue an open challenge, Kevin Owens announces that he is issuing an open challenge. Dolph Ziggler comes out, and Lillian Garcia starts to announce that it's for the NXT Championship, and then Owens corrects her, calls her Blondie, and says that he never said it was for the belt, so it's just a plain old match.
That was after Ziggler came out.
Right, yeah, I said that.
You're like Dolph
Ziggler.
Oh. And that was pop 1 of the night right there, because Ziggler.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
that's pop 1.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, that was maybe pop 4 for me, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. So that match happened. Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens won. So yeah.
Did you actually watch? When you watch Raw full on USA?
What's that? Yeah, I watched it. I watched it live. Yeah.
Wasn't it after Barrett's match? They had a Heath Slater segment.
I must have missed that.
Because I saw on their Facebook this morning that they did a segment when Bad News Barrett's music was playing, because it played pretty long in the arena, and they did a segment with Fandango, Emma, Alicia Fox, and Heath Slater, and I believe somebody else, Machine Gun Kelly. So this is the time for Slater, and they did not show that in the arena, which I was mad about. Thank you very much, Q. Now you can go on.
Yeah, I must have missed that because I don't have any.
That's what I said, Brian. God.
Oh yeah, Machine Gun Kelly.
You can like. Oh, don't make me talk about that segment, please. That was horrible. Nobody cared.
Yeah, Brian right now is speaking to us from beyond the grave, and he's speaking to Eddie telepathically, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's one of those ghosts, you know what I mean? And he's like right next to me to tell me all this stuff. So.
Ghost Brian sucks.
Ghost Brian sucks. Ghost Brian sucks. Ghost Brian sucks. Ghost Brian sucks. And Richard should have done Ghost Brian rocks. So I'm just gonna talk about the backstage stuff real quickly. Then after the Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler match, Paige organized the Divas with a team meeting. Says they all need to take a stand against the Bellas. Naomi says she doesn't like the Bellas and won't be bossed around. Bellas interrupt, saying the Divas can side with Paige if they want to, but nobody sides with her. Pretty much just like, but it was Steph who helped her last year. Michael needs a better thing to do, and she's still the champion. Nikki Bella. The Divas walk out. Nikki tells Paige it's over. Naomi is apparently willing to be bossed around just by one of the women she hates, not Paige, and that seems legit. And then Kane versus Randy Orton. The winner was Kane. Sheamus interrupts. Kane grabs a mic, says it's a no holds barred, and Sheamus joins in and attacks Randy Orton and gets the pinfall, and Kane wins.
Nice. After that, Big Show versus The Miz. The Miz wins by countout. Ryback was at ringside, guest commentating. Big Show taunted him and threw Miz outside in his direction. He got out of the ring and then in Ryback's face.
And then this was the only Cleveland win they got this week because the Cavs lost. And then Ghost Brian should talk about the Divas.
If he wants. Yeah.
He's currently talking about it. You hear that?
That's right. Sorry, what was next?
The Divas 2-on-1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 2-on-1 handicap match. The Bella Twins versus Paige. Of course, the Bella Twins win. After that was a performance by Machine Gun Kelly. It was a pretty good performance. Afterward, Kevin Owens comes out, claps sarcastically, gets in Machine Gun Kelly's face. He shoves Owens, who then hits him back and then powerbombs him through part of the stage.
As being there live for this segment, pretty much nobody cared. When Owens, when people saw Owens coming out, that's when everybody just like stood up and started like freaking out because nobody cared for Machine Gun Kelly. Nobody cared who he was, and this was like pretty much like the piss break in the arena for us, but we didn't go anywhere. Yeah,
I figured that.
If we actually had like a phone instead of a tablet, I would have probably got on right then. They'd be like, "Hey, Machine Gun Kelly's on. You want to talk for about 5 minutes?"
Yeah.
One of those situations. And then I'll talk about this and the television main event. Neville and the Primetime Players defeated the New Day, which again I did not like whatsoever because I'm a New Day fan. But hey, people can now say the New Day main evented Raw. So
Right. That's true. That was the last match.
Well,
Neville and the Primetime Players versus all of the New Day.
It was the last match on television, so. But it was a technical main event for you guys. So, New Day rocks.
After that match, the Authority comes to the ring to announce Seth Rollins' next opponent. Stephanie briefly mentions that Kevin Owens will be punished for attacking Machine Gun Kelly, who was there as a guest of the WWE. She says it's best for business, and I'm sure to avoid lawsuits too, I'd imagine. Seth Rollins comes out and says that there's nobody who will take the title from him.
And you know who's what's also best for business?
What?
Machine Gun Kelly.
MGK?
That's another company that Norv and Dewey will be talking about very soon because that's upcoming. Yeah. But what's best for business is not getting B-list celebrity guests like Machine Gun Kelly, Grumpy Cat, Flo Rida, and the other one last year, which I'm drawing a blank on. They need to learn their lesson. Nobody cared. That's best for business. Best for business is focusing on your storylines and not wannabe rap artists from a very bad town of Cleveland. Yeah, I said it. It's a bad town of Cleveland. Just like they have all those Cavs this past Tuesday. Yeah, they lost to nothing.
So Triple H also says that
I'm getting built up. Then what also makes no sense. If you watch like the beginning, whatever, when Johnny Manziel was shown. Now, obviously the Cavs game was Tuesday night, right? And Raw was Monday. So you would think they would have somebody from the Cavs being at Raw, right?
Yeah.
They had a Cleveland Browns player, which the last time WWE was in Cleveland was in December for TLC. Now there was a Browns game that same day. They fought the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals did 33. The Browns did nothing. That was embarrassing. Then they have him, Mandel, show up at the queue, which made absolutely no sense whatsoever. They should have had somebody from the Cavs show up. They didn't because they were too busy with Machine Gun Kelly. What a flop that was.
I don't really follow the sport ball, so I'm not really sure what you're talking about.
It was a big deal because it was on the news that entire morning of December 14th. Manziel's biggest game of the year, the Browns' biggest game of the year, and they lost to nothing. How about that? Nice. Man, I need to take a break for a minute. Man, you built up there.
Go ahead. Take a break while I finish this up. Triple H says that Seth... Listen, don't make me kill you like I killed Brian. I mean... Triple H says that Seth Rollins has overcome all of the challenges that he's faced and he's proven himself. But Stephanie says that he might still have something yet to prove. Out comes Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Lesnar stares down Seth Rollins while Triple H and Heyman shake hands. Seth backs out of the ring and heads up the ramp away from Lesnar, who continues to stare him down. End show.
For those that obviously don't know, because I'm sure nobody here listening was at the queue, they were selling Suplex City, Cleveland, Ohio shirts. So that right there was a dead giveaway. He was going to be returning. And when we were in line, maybe for about 15 minutes, they were testing the pyro, and it was his exact pyro. So we knew that. Then when Brock came out, there was a kid in front of us. I was saying, Cena's going to do it. Cena's going to do it. And then Brock came out, and everybody lost it. But Cleveland was the first one. Because I saw nothing for... Cleveland was the first stop for it. So that was a dead giveaway right there. Because they would not sell it at a live event. But when Brock came out, everybody lost it. And you can hear that when you go rewatch it. Davey himself pretty much lost his voice over that too. Because he was building up the Brock part since February. So that pretty much proves how long he was boning it up. And this Raw was definitely worth the 4-month wait. And
nice.
Of course, people want to say, "Oh, Raw sold out" or whatever. No, it didn't. If you go pay attention with the Owens and Machine Gun Kelly part, you can tell like above the Arenatron was tarped off to section 202, which is like right behind us, which that's probably a good 2,000 or 3,000 seats tarped.
Wow.
Which was bad because the night before was a complete sellout.
Yeah.
And of course, and it doesn't help that they first said something about this Raw on May 25th, which was a couple of weeks ago. Where normally they say something like March or April, months before it actually happens. So that no promoting, bit them right in the ass. Oh, then Jesus Christ, you're making me forget about a lot of stuff, man. After Raw went off the air, there was a dark match. It featured. This is what I'm saying. New Day was your television main event, and it wasn't the actual main event. The main event for us was Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton, and Ryback and Roman Reigns defeated Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, and The Big Show. Fans were telling Big Show, please retire, and Big Show said, if you buy out my contract, I'll retire. And everybody just shut up there. And after I went off the air and people were like leaving, Lillian was doing photos and autographs, and we got one with her, and legitimately like 2 minutes after that, she had to get going. So we were like the last people to do that. Then when we were coming back to our car, Marty Bell was handing out flyers for an indie show she was doing this Saturday, and we talked to her for a few minutes. So we met like 7 or 8 stars this past weekend, which was definitely worth the wait for all this.
That's awesome. Next up is our interview with Dewey Barnes and Norv Fernum. Coming up after this 5-second break. All right, so as everybody can tell, we are on the line now with Dewey Barnes and Norv Fernum. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Feeling great, man. It's a beautiful day here in sunny Southern California, so I'm feeling good.
Nice. Very nice.
You're so lucky you get to live in California. I want to move there so bad.
It's something, man. I'm about 45 minutes from the beach, 45 minutes from the mountains, so.
It's fucking awesome. So, what do y'all want to talk about tonight?
I want to start with TNA. I just want to ask you guys, how did TNA contact you, and how long did you work for them?
Norv, you can go first on that one.
Sure. Bound for Glory was rolling into San Diego, and they needed a top-tier athlete like myself to have a match against EC3. And I got contacted through Kazarian and Joey Ryan, and then I went down to San Diego and had the match. And then from then on, they brought me back out, kept bringing me back out, and I want to say I was with them until February of last year.
Cool.
For me, I started working for Impact around 2010. My buddy, who's my best friend, Jimmy J, he done the merchandise there, so he brought me onto the truck, and I was driving the merch truck everywhere, and doing that with them. Then right at the week after Norv made his debut, they needed somebody else to get in the ring with EC3. So we was downstairs at the hotel lobby, and they was talking about it, and Jimmy J was like, well, this kid right here, he's good, he could do it. And they looked at a couple of my matches on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, it'd be perfect. Do you got your gear with you? I was like, I always got my gear. So it was fate from there.
Now, this question's for both of you. How was your feeling when you made it to the pay-per-view and on Impact Wrestling in October of 2013?
Felt good, man. You making the debut on their biggest show, it's their WrestleMania kind of thing. So it was a big deal for me. I was shaking, I was nervous, but I mean, it felt good to debut in front of my hometown crowd. You know what I mean? Like, they knew who I was, so it was a great experience. And if I could relive it again, I definitely would.
I remember standing at the Gorilla about to go out, and Bully Ray, he looks at me and says, "Hey kid, you nervous?" I'm like, I wouldn't say nervous. I'm more excited. I'm ready. Worked hard for this. I'm excited. He was like, great answer. Good kid. Ever since then, I really liked him, and he really liked me. And I just remember being super excited, because I'm coming up on 9 years in right now, and that's what I've been working all that time to do. So I was excited.
Awesome. Now, would you ever go back to TNA if given the opportunity, and do you still watch their current product?
Yeah, I mean, I would do anything, I would go back because I don't feel like, either one of us, left in any kind of bad way. I know I don't have any hard feelings against them, and, I still go up there to the merchandise department and hang out with those guys. So, I mean, I think we're all still cool. I would love to go back up there and work for them and, see what's going on.
Yeah, man, I'd definitely be down to go back and work for them, too. I have no ill will and no animosity. We left on, it was good terms, so I think if they want to do something again, I'd be down.
Sweet. Now, what actually led to your releases from Impact Wrestling?
Well, me, I actually, it was, like I said, because I was still doing both. I was still wrestling and then doing the merchandise. And for me, like, it was more personal and stuff. I ended up quitting my merchandise job also with them, and I don't think we was ever, I wouldn't say we was let go or anything. It was more of they just stopped using. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, at one point, we was every week, every TV was on, then all of a sudden, it's like they picked up and changed direction of what they wanted to do. It's like they go from being all about us to, wait a minute, we got something else over here. Let's, it's like, it's hard to explain. It's just like they changed complete direction.
I noticed the difference in how they were using us when Jarrett left.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's really that's all I really know. I don't know anything for a fact or anything, but I just get that feeling that, something happened when Jarrett left, and because I know that Jarrett was big on Dewey and I.
No, yeah, absolutely. Jarrett sees like the advantages of having, guys like us on your card, that can go out there and like just make other people look good, not that they need any help, but like, you get what I'm saying, we can go out there and get the job done and not really fuck everything up.
Right, exactly. And we're entertaining to boot, so I know we're entertaining to boot. Our promos were great that aired. We have a lot of stuff that never made TV, which I thought it was gold. We had some great bits with Brooke Tetzmacher that never made TV.
We got to get those. We got to figure out a way to get those.
Wow, that was great, though. You remember that one, dog? That was so fun.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we could have done a lot more with her because it seems like that's the direction that they was going. I wish that could have played out and become something. But, and also, you asked the question of, do we watch the current product? Me, personally, I haven't had the chance to watch anything recently, so no. Unfortunately.
I haven't had a chance to check it out either. I don't think I have Destination America on my TV.
But I do wish the best for him. A lot of my buddies still work there. I loved every single person there. There was nothing but nice to me in Norv. Nobody ever mistreated us one time.
No, it was great. Great time. I liked everybody there that I interacted with.
Now, speaking about Jeff Jarrett, what's your current thoughts about Global Force Wrestling, and do you think you guys will get a call to wrestle and do stuff for their shows?
More power to them. I think it's time for, another company to come up and do something. I think it's better for the business having multiple places to work. When it's just one or two, it's hard. There's so much talent out around that, a lot of people get skipped over and passed. So I think more companies coming up, I think it's awesome. And I would love to work for Global. Like I said, Jarrett, from the way it looked, he was really high on us, and maybe he could find a way to use us and help him out some. I think it would be awesome.
Absolutely, man. It seems wrestling, the more wrestling, the better, pretty much.
Yep.
The more wrestling there is, the better. So I hope they do well. I like Jeff a lot, so, and I hope more power to him, and, good luck. And
Absolutely.
if he gets in contact with me and Dewey, I'd be more than happy to do something with Global Force and Jeff.
Get the band back together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
The boys back in town.
But I think Jeff definitely has one of the best minds I've ever, been around in the business, and I think he's going to do very well. I believe in him.
And that actually that leads into a question that I had. Other than, of course, GFW, have either of you ever thought about making an appearance for any other companies?
Like which companies? The big TV companies?
I guess yeah. I guess like two-part. Like if WWE, for example, ever called you up for NXT or for an appearance, would you be open to that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think if anybody was like, you know what, WWE called me to go to NXT, I would say no. Is a liar. I think anybody would. I'm not sitting there waiting by my phone, waiting on it. But yeah, I would definitely. I would love to do that.
Absolutely, it'd be nice to also go to NXT and be able to see a lot of the people that I got to meet. During my 6 years in the business, like Adam. You go back and see Adam Pearce, Drake Younger, different people like that.
Yeah. And like NXT, man, I watch it very, very close, and it's almost number two. You got WWE, then it's NXT, man. The show's so good, and the talent's amazing. It's a great product.
Absolutely. And any of the other TV products too. Like I got to do a small thing with Lucha Underground. They have a great product going on. Ring of Honor just has a good thing going on now. I think they're going to be on Destination America as well.
Yep.
I'm out here. We have our local television program, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, which I'm one of the main eventers on, which I love being a part of and being on TV every Saturday. So there's tons of wrestling on TV, and there's just going to be more of it. So let's people got to step up their game to create some incredible products for the fans to watch.
Yep. Right now we got the 26th and the 27th is the IWA King of the Deathmatch tournament, and for Ian Rotten, and it's going to be an amazing show that they sell at Smart Mark Video, and it's just going to be tremendous. A 2-day event that people should really want to come out and enjoy. And it's like he just said, the business right now seems like it's growing, and it's a really exciting time right now.
Wrestling, I like to think that wrestling is cool again,
Yeah.
When it was cool to wear a Goldberg shirt out at school, when it was cool to wear a Steve Austin shirt at school, now it's cool again to wear wrestling shirts and just like wrestling and talk wrestling.
Right. I agree. Especially now that a lot of wrestlers, seem to be like selling their own T-shirts now. I follow Fred Ottman, Tugboat Typhoon, and he's always linking to to T-shirts that are for his other characters and stuff. And I've actually bought one, and I see a lot of that now. And there are a lot of T-shirts out now that they're pretty cool.
Been the best thing for a lot of these wrestlers to make cash while actually not being at shows.
Yeah. And like I said, I did the merchandise for about 4 to 5 years for TNA, and there's nothing more than fans want than a T-shirt. They can have it for as long as they take care of it. It's something that they just don't go home and store away that they never see again.
Right.
That's like a wrestler's best friend. T-shirts, I love them.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. What has been the greatest moment in your careers so far?
For me, I think it was ending the Thanksgiving show with me and Norv. We was the very end of it, and we both got to come off the top of the ropes and in the turkey suits and do that double splash. I thought it was the coolest thing. For me, it was everybody in the ring celebrating. It was just fucking awesome.
I'm gonna say that too. Dewey. That was one of my favorite moments in wrestling, man. Just because it felt like personally, it was like a full circle thing for me because my initial training, I broke my arm doing a frog splash, so I was out for a long time, and I hadn't done one since then. And then when I did the turkey suit, that was my first frog splash since I broke my arm. And it came off great, and the crowd was loving it, and we were turkeys, and so it felt like a full circle thing for me. That's like, yes, this is it. I'm doing this,
And that's the last thing that they saw on Thanksgiving night as they turned off the TV was me and you, and I thought that was really cool.
We were the last. Yeah, you and me are the last people to wear that suit.
Yeah.
Now, me as a huge Impact Wrestling fan, I do remember that it was a couple of weeks ago. It was really awesome to see that because you two the underdogs, if you will, and the Jesse Gadders, the Robbie Eager, the big guys. So it was the little guys being the big ones was real cool to see.
Absolutely. That I think we was able. We was over. We wasn't fucking Hulk Hogan over, but people liked us because they could relate to us. I think a card.
I don't mean to cut Dewey, but let me tell you something real quick before I forget, because it has to do with what you're talking about. We were over. Let me tell you how over we were. Me and my tag partner, Ray Rosas, we were recently out in New Mexico for a show at this place called Destiny Wrestling Organization. Their champion at the time was Bully Ray. Me and Bully Ray got to chit-chat a bit and just got to chat and talk and shoot the shit. And one of the first things he told me was, you and Dewey should have been tag team champions.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yes, we were absolutely over.
And, it's moments like that just make you go, man, that's just fucking awesome. You got one of the members of the best tag teams, arguably ever, telling you that you was over enough to carry the belts. That's awesome to me.
Hell yeah, man! It felt good to hear that. And I was going to tell you, but I completely spaced on telling you because the drive was brutal.
Yeah, I know what you mean about that. But where I was going with the other thing is us being smaller and we could relate to everybody in the crowd. You had the big guys to draw in, the women, but all the guys that's our size that, could really get behind us and cheer for us, because they wanted to do what we was doing and they could see themselves through us, and they loved us for that.
Absolutely.
I do agree with Bully Ray saying you guys should have been tag team champions still. You should have beat Jesse and Robbie the following week or something. And then even if it was say a one-day reign or something, it would have been real awesome to see you guys as tag team champions.
People, I think, would have wanted to see it. Absolutely.
I think the crowd would have erupted. I think it would have been a huge pop.
It would have been something different.
Mhm. And see, that's what confuses me because, it seemed like everybody was on board and we was not, it didn't seem like so much like we was headed to that direction, but it didn't seem like it was just going to come to just absolute stop either, and it was just real surprising.
I agree completely. It was total shock because we did that loop. The last thing we did together was that loop. You remember? Was it the 3-day thing?
That 3-show loop. Yep.
Yeah. Tennessee twice, and then
it was us versus Ethan, right?
Yeah, it was us versus EC3 twice in Tennessee, and then once in South Carolina, South Kakalaki.
Yep. That was a fun.
And then after that, it was just went from 100 to nothing.
Mhm. Yeah, but it seemed like the feeling of that. It seemed like it to me because I remember pulling you to the side and saying, "Hey, if you can, this may be coming to an end. I got a bad feeling. If you can make anything else happen, don't think about me. Do it for yourself." You remember that?
Yeah, no, I do. I've been trying to get people on board at home here for like a Norv thing, for a Norv and Dewey thing, for Norv versus EC, and then Jesse Goddard's actually moved out here, I think, to the Huntington Beach area. So I was like, if he's out here, we could do like a one-on-one, we could do a tag, but nobody's either been interested or it just hasn't happened,
Yeah.
Now this question's for Dewey. How is it like hailing from the merchandise stand at every single event?
It was fun, being out there. Like I got a different outlook about the fans and everything while the show was going on because I'm out there with them. I hear what they want, I hear what they think, and they're the most honest. When you're out there and you're listening to them, they're completely honest and they tell you exactly what they think. Just being out there and having everybody just come up and talk to you was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I had a blast.
And then I don't know if you actually fully remember it. Last year when TNA was in Niles, I believe that was one of your last shows. When you were taking us to certain spots, whatever, I was praising you so much, you should have been tag champions. This is EC3 victim number, whatever it was. You fought at Carter and all that stuff. So you were listening to everybody. So I really appreciate.
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
Last year when TNA was in Niles, I was the guy that was saying you should have been tag champion. How's it fighting EC3 and all that stuff. So you were
Oh, okay. I completely remember you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I remember that completely now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fine. That is awesome. That was a good show, and man, I was excited. After I left TNA, I took a lot of time off too because I had 4 kids at the time. I had 2 of my own and then 2 step kids, and after I left there, I just kind of took a couple months off and spent time with them and everything. So it's good to be back in there and going full force at this time.
Nice. So this question is for the both of you. What would be your dream match?
Oh, easy. Kurt Angle.
Nice.
1-on-1 would have to be Kurt Angle, or Kurt Angle, or I would love to work Shawn Michaels. That would be awesome. But as a tag team, I would love for Norv and Dewey versus the Hardy Boys. I think that'd be just fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I just want to work because I just want to work in any capacity in a wrestling sense with Kurt. Kurt was my idol. He still is one of my idols. I grew up admiring him. I still have one of his original action figures. He's got a cloth singlet and hair. It's great. I'm all about Kurt Angle, and TNA gave me the opportunity to be able to meet him, and we got to have we're a part of a segment with him where we came out dressed as the turkeys to kind of fight for him,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that was amazing. I loved it.
And you're talking about someone that has so much intensity, that it's crazy. When he walks out there, his intensity level is so far up. It's crazy, man. It's almost intimidating to be in the same ring with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd also maybe like another shot at Kevin Owens. My one and only encounter with him, he whipped my ass.
Yeah.
Then, what do you think about Kevin Owens being on WWE television every single week?
I think it's great. People like him, and he's a natural in there, man. He's just natural at being the role he's in. The just badass dude.
I think it opens the door. I don't think it opens the door. I think it knocks down the door of, you have to be $1 million body. You have to, have a 6-pack and 24-inch pythons. I think it's awesome.
So earlier, you guys mentioned teaming up with Ray Rosas. Norv, is there any chance of seeing you back in PWG, whether it's with or without Rosas?
I would love to be back in PWG with or without Rosas. Hopefully with Ray. We have a good act going on with PP Ray, and I know the PWG fans want to see us back. I read it on boards. I've had people tell me to my face, so I know they want to see PP Ray back in action and getting down and dancing. So it's just all a matter of what PWG wants to do.
And my final question is, what is your ultimate career goal as a wrestler?
Mine would be to be contracted and making a wonderful living off wrestling. I'd like to buy a house, things like that, through performing and doing what I love to do.
Me, it was to have one of the top companies, to be able to survive and, get paid from a top company. And I survived supporting me, my fiance at the time, and 4 kids for 5 years from a top company. So, I would love to, elevate and be bigger, but if I wasn't and I never become anything more than what I am now, I'm okay with that. Because I got to live my dream for as long as it lasted.
Very nice. Before we go, is there anything that either of you want to plug? Any appearances or events that you're going to be at? Or anything? Websites?
I got IWA Mid-South. Ian Rotten is putting on the King of Death tournament the 26th and 27th of this month. It's going to be a great 2-day event. It's going to be fantastic. So if anybody's listening to this that wants to buy the DVD from Smart Mark or come out and see it, it's going to be amazing. And also they're doing Queen of Death. It's the second night, and that's going to be good too.
Queen of Death tournament, I know it's featuring one of SoCal's own ladies, Sage Sin Supreme. So keep a lookout for her.
She's going to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be a badass tournament. I've been checking out all the names. So, yeah, definitely check out the Queen and the King of the Death matches. You guys coming to make sure to check out Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. We're on Patreon. You can it's a subscription service for real cheap, but you can get wonderful Championship Wrestling matches featuring guys like Daniel Bryan, X-Pac, myself, Ray Rosas, Scorpio Sky, Johnny Yuma, Kevin Martinson, different guys like that. We have the Red Carpet Rumble coming up July 12th. It's going to be a big-time event. We're going to start releasing information about it here pretty soon. So I can't wait. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, we're doing big things out here in Los Angeles, and so definitely stay tuned.
Dewey, I just wanted to know, are you still doing Terry Harper's show?
What is it?
Terry Harper's show. It's with Vader and Jake Roberts. Are you still doing that?
If I think so, and I hope so. I just got my shoot job work schedule's getting a little crazy right now, but I should be able to. Yeah, it's still going on.
Awesome. All right. I just want to thank you guys for calling in and for speaking to us.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to tell you thank you.
I would tell you, I'm just going to throw this out there. Stay tuned in the next couple of weeks, Impact. So,
Oh,
yeah, I'm just going to throw that out there.
Awesome.
nice. Eddie is a very huge TNA fan, so I'm sure he's catatonic right now.
What week is it going to be?
Oh, I don't have any specifics yet, but just keep watching.
Awesome. All right, great. All right, thank you guys again for calling.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
great
Take
day.
care.
Everybody, thank you.
All right, bye. Awesome. That's very nice, yeah. TNA Impact, we got to watch. I'm going to have to start watching. Very cool.
All right, our top 5 for this week is our top 5 underrated wrestlers, wrestlers from any era that we believe are underrated and or underappreciated. All right, these are in no particular order. The first name that came to mind was Nick Dinsmore, who you may not know him by his actual name, but a lot of you know him as Eugene from WWE. And if you haven't seen any of his matches outside of WWE, then you're not seeing him to his full potential, I guess. Because he's one of the best wrestlers, period. But they brought him in WWE and they gave him the mentally handicapped gimmick of Eugene, and he pulled it off really well, and he loves the gimmick. Like he still wrestles as Eugene occasionally, and I don't know, I think, like, I know if you go on YouTube you can find a couple of dark matches of him as Nick Dinsmore from like really old WWF shows and whatnot, but I did like the Eugene gimmick, but I think if they would have given him a real chance just to be himself, it would have worked a lot better, I think. The second one, sort of related. They both come from OVW. Rob Conway, who initially was brought into WWE as he was a fan plant for La Resistance. He was like what's the word I'm looking for? A sympathizer, I believe, something like that. And he ended up joining La Resistance, and they split and whatnot. And then he started going with his "Just Look at Me" gimmick with that amazing theme song that he had. You all know that is one of the best theme songs ever, and it fit him perfectly.
Just look at me.
And he did that for a little while, and I don't know exactly like what, backstage what happened, but from what I've read, apparently Stephanie McMahon just didn't like him or something, which is ultimately what led to his release. I mean, he had a few really good moments. Like, I remember specifically one moment, they had a whole bunch of legends in the ring. I don't remember exactly when it was, but the ring was filled with legends, and then him being a heel, they had him come out and basically talk a bunch of trash to him, and he just got what?
Part of the interruption. That was Raw Homecoming. That was Raw Homecoming when they moved back to the USA in 2005.
Yes, excellent. They had all these legends in the ring. They had him come out and talk a bunch of trash and whatnot, and then he just gets beat down by a bunch of legends. And I'm pretty sure, wasn't Dusty one of them?
I want to say yes.
I think Dusty actually hit him with that bionic elbow.
If I remember right, it was a bunch of them, and I want to say Dusty was up front.
Yeah, I think that was him up front, but not long after that, I mean, they released him, and later he did end up in places where he was appreciated. Like he's been in New Japan, he's been an NWA heavyweight champion, and he's a lot bigger right now than he ever was in WWE, and I think that was a really big missed opportunity on their part.
Oh yeah. Next
one, I got to go with Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. He should have been like the man at one point. He should have been the champion. I mean, he was always an upper mid card guy, really, but he should have had a chance at the top,
I agree.
And then this isn't part of my list, but I'll go ahead and throw him in here. His son, Axel Mania. They're in the process of ruining him right now. Like he's not a bad wrestler. He's pretty good. But they're like, oh, we're gonna just make you this Hulk Hogan ripoff, and we're gonna name you Axel Mania. And I mean, it's the same thing. Like he is in the process of being one of these guys. In 10 years, he will be on a list like this. Maybe not even 10 years.
Yeah.
Fourth, I got to go with Brian Pillman, who, in a way, it's like Dean Ambrose right now he's the modern Brian Pillman, and back in the day, Pillman never really got his chance. Like honestly, the biggest career highlight that I can remember for him was the incident with the gun with Stone Cold on Raw.
Yeah.
Like he did that, and then afterwards, not long before he died, he was in the middle of doing some kind of like a stalker thing, a stalker storyline with Goldust and Marlena. And and I don't know, that was, I mean, obviously they didn't know he was about to die, but that's a really bad like final career thing, Like, oh, I was stalking Marlena. I'm pretty sure at one point they had him like dress up in Marlena's clothes or something. But I don't know. He was in the New Heart Foundation, the like 97 Heart Foundation or whatever. But beyond that, he never really did anything huge. And then finally, and this is definitely a top one for me, this is one of my favorite wrestlers ever, William Regal.
Yep.
He's
a real man's man.
He is one of the best, if not the best, like technical wrestler. When Goldberg was doing his streak in WCW, they had one match where he was against William Regal, and this is what led to William Regal getting fired from WCW. Regal didn't want to just get in there and job to Goldberg. So what he did was he got in there and he started getting really technical with him, and he was kind of, he was jumping all around and everything, and
look bad.
Yeah, he was making Goldberg just look like an idiot. Like Goldberg had no idea what he was doing. You can find the match on YouTube, but Goldberg just he looked confused. He looked like he had no idea what was going on, and like, I mean, it was a shoot. That's what it was. He shot on Goldberg, and
he shat on Goldberg.
Exactly. And then he goes to WWE, and he's Commissioner Regal, and he's teaming up with Tajiri for no reason whatsoever. And then the next thing, he's teaming up with Eugene for no reason whatsoever. And then
that I didn't mind.
I mean, it was. I think that thing that was better for Eugene than it was for Regal, though.
Yeah. Because
Eugene was kind of new, and teaming him with Regal, who was even at that point a veteran, I mean, it was sort of a push for Eugene, I guess, but I don't know. I mean, he did become King of the Ring later, but what really happened with that? Nothing came out of that other than, oh, look, William Regal's the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
But
get it? Because his last name's Regal?
I get it.
It works.
And then he just kind of quietly phased out, and now he's doing NXT stuff, right?
Well, I mean, for a while he kind of made a small comeback, and he was wrestling here and there, and that's when he first started to grow his hair out, he was actually doing pretty good. He had a small push, but it was nice to see him wrestling once in a while.
Isn't Regal the general manager of NXT?
That's what I thought, but I don't really follow NXT, so.
I want to say he is.
I don't know. Yes, he is.
Yeah, because Dusty Rhodes was it for a little bit, and then gave it to Regal.
Yes. Yeah.
How often does he make appearances?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Once in a while. He's there probably every other show. Last show I watched was when Alex Riley made the jump back from commentator to wrestler, and he was talking to Regal about it, and Regal said you can either do one or the other. So I do remember him being there, and I think he's there once in a while. He makes regular enough appearances. Actually, before him, I think JBL was the general manager, right?
I remember JBL being on there.
Yeah, I think it was.
Wasn't it Dusty?
Then JBL.
Then.
Yep.
I used to follow the first set of Full Sail tapings back in June 2012. Yeah. Then I watched it on and off till the next January. Then I stopped for the world's longest time. Started watching it again very so often.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it since the takeover in December.
I have Hulu Plus, and I watch some of the older NXTs once in a while. They don't have all of the older ones. It kind of just starts at some point in 2012, I think. It's.
Last time I checked, they only had 2014 to now.
Oh, maybe no, I'm pretty sure Hulu.
No,
I'm
talking about the network. Damn it.
No, yeah, that's right. Yeah, WWE Network only has it back until 2014, and that's the modern version of NXT. The older ones, they're only on Hulu, and I think they go back to 2012. Well, actually, it might be 2010. Yeah, it includes the seasons where it was more of a competition show. Remember those? Season 1, Season 2, it had Daniel Bryan for the first time. Yeah, it goes back to 2010, right? And it jumps. Give me one second. It goes up to 2011. And there's a point at which it skips a couple of weeks. I think in late 2012 or something, or early 2012. It just skips a bunch of episodes.
I was hearing that they don't have the first couple set of tapings of Full Sail, and they picked up again the first show of 2013 or something like that.
I'm not sure. I'm looking through it. Oh, it jumps from June 13th, 2012 to September 26th, 2012. It apparently skipped about 70 episodes, because it goes from Season 5, Episode 67 to Season 6, Episode 136. The hell?
If it's June
weird.
June to September 2012?
Yeah, it just
that's not 70-some weeks.
4 months. I mean, that's not 70-something. I don't know. It's Season 5, Episode 67 to Season 6, Episode 136. I don't know if they changed the numbering or what. It's just really confusing. But yeah, there's a jump in there. It's weird. Anyway.
All right.
Sorry. Sorry, Brian. We took over your... Jesus. Sorry about that.
All right.
Long tangent.
Well, I'm almost done. Got a few honorable mentions. Dean Malenko is another one. Mike Awesome. Definitely Kerry Von Erich. Or really any of the Von Erichs, but mainly Kerry.
Right. Yeah.
And Ultimo Dragon, who was huge in Japan, but then he comes here, he goes to WCW, and they don't do a lot with him. And then he comes to WWE, and he slips on his cape twice at WrestleMania 20.
Oh, yeah.
Dude slipped twice. Like, jeez.
Sin Cara before there was a Sin Cara.
Yeah, and the camera catches it both times. He's immediately steps on stage, slips, gets in the ring, jumps up on the rope, slips.
Did they keep that in for the DVD release?
I don't. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but that's not really like just like Sin Cara, like screwing up on your first like big match. That's not the way to succeed.
That's true.
So I don't know. I mean, I think that if that wouldn't have happened, and I guess if he had gotten some sort of push in either company, he could have been not as successful here as he was in Japan, but I don't know. He could have been more successful than he was. He wasn't even in WWE for very long.
Yeah.
So that's my list.
Cool. Do you want to go next, Eddie?
Yeah, because it's in alphabetical order.
Because what?
Because it's in alphabetical order.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
See? My top 5 is Braden Walker. Because he was,
Braden Walker!
Let me finish! Damn. Because Braden Walker was Chris Harrison TNA, and he was used properly there. And now, Brian, you can do another lol.
Lol.
Whoa. Braden Walker.
And he will knock your brains out.
Not in WWE, he won't.
He will knock your brains out because he lives right by Cincinnati or something like that. Right by the border.
Hey, Eddie.
What?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Braden Walker.
No.
For a second, I didn't think you were going to say anything. There was a pause. There was a pause before you said Braden Walker, and I didn't think you were going to answer.
Damn you.
Number 2 on my list is Norv and Dewey. I kind of talked about it earlier. Like they're like the underdogs, but like not like a Spud underdog like guys like Bully said they should have won the tag belts and should have been a little more over. So they definitely deserve a spot on this list. Next up is Colin Delaney again, just like the Norv and Dewey, an underdog that should have gotten at least a championship run or just like more of a push. Then Damian Sandow, just like how Curtis Axel was for Brian. Pushed to the moon to a point, and then just like fizzled down and cannot like get back to like the actual character, if you know what I mean. Because in 2013 and 12, Sandow was like over as hell. Then we went to the SmackDown before he failed his cash in, and he was like over as hell. Then like 3 months later, we went to a live event. No, we went to SmackDown again in June or something last year. He was doing his gimmick stuff, and it was like horrible because 6 months previous I was cheering for him, and I'm just like almost booing this guy, and I like love him. And that was actually my top 4 because I cannot think of any others. And after Richard goes to his, I'm gonna do the subject for the top 5 for next week because Brian did it this past few weeks.
So my list, it's not really in any particular order. I kind of just put it in order of when I wanted to talk about them. So my first entry on the list is Tugboat / Typhoon. I mean, besides the fact that Fred Ottman is a great guy, wonderful person, awesome to talk to. He was hugely over when he debuted in the WWF. The fans, they took to him immediately. They loved him. I loved him. He doesn't seem to be as famous or as much of a household name as most other wrestlers out there. As much as he should be. He deserves to be. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, even maybe inducted alongside Earthquake. He won the tag team belts with Earthquake as Typhoon, but that's really all he did as a singles wrestler. I mean, the gimmick could only go so far. He was a tugboat captain or owned a tugboat. I'm not really sure. I guess maybe he was a tugboat. I don't know. But he really deserved more of a push, more of a run with some kind of title. Maybe maybe the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, he could have been big. The fans loved him. Next on my list is Val Venus. He had a lot of talent, but he was severely underused. He was kind of stereotyped, or he was kind of pigeonholed into the former porn star gimmick, and he could never seem to break out of it.
Hello.
He seemed destined to be stuck in that gimmick, as kind of a joke character, but he was legitimately good in the ring. He was stuck with that stupid Kai and Tai storyline with choppy your pee and all that stupid shit. His stint in Right to Censor was, that showed promise, but he was still underutilized and underappreciated. When he was briefly renamed to Chief Sean Morley, and he was the chief, I guess the commissioner or whatever, that showed some promise. I had hope, but then he went right back to being Val Venus. Overall, he just had a huge amount of potential that the WWF just squandered. Next on my list is D'Lo Brown. I always loved watching him wrestle. He had a great personality, and he could wrestle circles around some of the current talent. I mean, he had a few decent championship runs. He had the European Championship 4 times and the Intercontinental Championship once. I think he could have gone a lot farther. I mean, they stuck him with Tiger Ali Singh and Chaz / Mosh as Lowdown. That was all right. We got a couple of pretty cool entrance themes out of it, but I'll always remember him as D'Lo Brown with the 5 different versions of the the Real Deal theme that he had.
You know what? Yeah. I think with D'Lo though, the thing that happened with Draws, he was never the same after that.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good point. I think because he did seem to have a lot of guilt over it. Draws forgave him, said that it wasn't really his fault. Shit happens, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that D'Lo just never really got over it. And he also had he also had that brief return back in I think 2008. I think. And I was actually excited, but it did not last long. Yeah. But it didn't last long, unfortunately. But that I mean, even that could have been great. He could have had a run for a belt or something. Had a decent push. We got a new version of his theme out of it, but he just vanished. I don't know. Weird.
You forget one of the biggest angles D'Lo ever had.
I probably am.
Being part of the Aces of Night.
Oh yeah, I didn't follow TNA, but yeah.
That's where we got the "You What Mate" face from, which should be a shout face.
Nice. He was also, of course, in the Nation of Domination and in a tag team with
Domination.
Nation of Domination. My next entry in this list is the British Bulldog. He is a perfect example of somebody who deserved at least a World Heavyweight Championship shot, if not, a run or two. he never really got close. The closest he got was an Intercontinental title win against Bret Hart, which I think was the height of his career. That was like the top of his game right there, at least in the WWF. He had a lot of talent. He had a great look. He had a huge fan base, and he seemed to be a decent guy. But WWF definitely underestimated his standing with the fans. Fans loved him, and they really underappreciated him as a talent overall. He could have really gone farther than he did, you know. Is he in the Hall of Fame? Yeah. The British Bulldog? I don't think so, right?
No, but he needs to be.
Yes, I really think he does. He deserves to be.
There's been a petition online
that's right.
for like 3 years now.
I signed it. That's right. Yeah, I think they updated something about it recently. I don't know if it got sent to WWE yet or. Right. Yeah. Well, I heard some rumors that he's going to be in next year's, but I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and my last entry is the recently departed Dusty Rhodes. For the longest time, I've held the belief that Dusty was held back by Vince McMahon during his run in WWF, and for very shitty, like petty reasons. You know, they named Virgil, the wrestler, after him as a joke, and then when Dusty came to WWF, they stuck him with the polka dots and with Sapphire, and I think both of those were meant to hurt him, to like ruin him, but I mean he ended up embracing both the polka dots and Sapphire. She was great. She was fun. He also embraced the common man gimmick, working hard for the man, which that ended up making him hugely popular and very over with the fans. I honestly think that the popularity that he ended up with, I think that is kind of like a big karmic like screw you to Vince, because Dusty was popular despite what he was given to work with. He could have gone. He could have gone a lot farther in the WWF if it weren't for the silly petty grudges and politics and shit. To my knowledge, he didn't win any championships, but I really think he should have been world heavyweight champion at least once, because he did it in the NWA, WCW, whichever one it was at the time. But he is main event talent. He was main event talent, and he really should have been. He should have gone to a lot farther than what he did. So that's my list.
Hey, I got something.
Huh?
Yeah, you mentioned Virgil.
Oh, that's
you
right.
You mentioned Virgil.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Should have never mentioned Virgil.
Watch out.
All right.
I love Virgil.
If you've been on Virgil has a Twitter account, okay? He got a Twitter account recently, and he's posting a bunch of nonsense, whatnot. All right, he charges fans for him to follow them. $20, I'll follow you.
Oh God.
And I don't know. If you go in there, read like the little on the left side of the page, his like little description thing. And he's talking about, like, I've done it all, and I've seen it all, and I'm better than you, and all that. I'm like, dude, you were a jobber, Curly Bill.
He was a glorified valet. Named
exactly.
Named after people in the opposite company that he worked for. He was named Virgil after Dusty, and then he was named Vincent after Vince McMahon. Like he was literally a tool. Like not just a tool as a person, but a device used to say screw you to the competition. He was literally a tool.
Yeah. For a short time in WCW, they also named him Shane.
Oh, really? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he was Curly Bill, and then like before WWF, he was Luscious Brown, which I mean that's one of those names that like if a company back then had a jobber that happened to be black, they're gonna give them a name like that.
Yeah.
That's
exactly
exactly that's what they did. That's what they did with him. They're like, oh, we're gonna call you Luscious Brown.
Hey, you're black.
And that's what they called him.
You're black. You're kind of brown. I think I'll call you Luscious Brown. That's beautiful.
Tell me the name Luscious Brown didn't have some kind of racism behind
yeah,
it.
of course it did.
You know it does.
Very lazy
But-
and yeah.
Nah. WWE's racism is like a whole nother like
Oh
rant.
God.
We don't even need to
go on for
yeah.
days.
But Virgil, I've been calling out Virgil on Twitter, and he has yet to answer me.
Cause he ain't worth your time. Pay him $1 million up front, and he'll fight you.
$20 to let you punch him in the nuts.
Yeah, he'll answer my challenge for $20. But I mean, I'm waiting for a response, and he's not giving it, and I don't think he has the balls.
He's a tool.
So I'm ready. I'm ready. 1v1 me, bro. Let's do it.
Nice. Virgil, the challenge has been made. Will you accept? I'll pay you $20, Virgil. How's that? I'll pay you $20. Let Brian punch you in the nuts.
Somebody go pay him $20 just to listen to this segment.
Yeah, there you go. $20.
I will pay him. Then I'll pay him a little more to get him as a guest. And Brian, this is when Brian would have to legitimately die.
I'd love to have him as a guest.
Oh yeah.
I want. All right, open invitation, Virgil. Come on as a guest.
Oh yeah. We'll pay you $20 to have you on as a guest. How's that? I will
20.
PayPal it to you. Oh yeah, I will.
Remember when they brought him back for a little while to be with Ted Jr.?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And remember how much of a failure that was?
All I remember is how little I cared.
Exactly.
It just
Has he ever done anything in his career that was
Yes.
a success?
he had his own entrance theme. Finally.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
And he's
Have you-
Virgil.
have you had your own
that one
entrance
photo of
theme?
his massive autograph line? I mean, it was out the door. The one for the lonely Virgil. That's a different Virgil.
Fans lined up for days.
There's a... Yeah, because he... I don't know. He's got imaginary fans.
Shh. Knowing you, I would say something. You make a comeback.
He probably
I'm
paid.
not gonna go there.
He's probably paid $20 for people to follow him. So now he needs to, get that money back somehow.
You know what? How bad do you have to screw up to have Ted DiBiase decide he doesn't want to talk to you anymore? The man is a pastor,
Yeah.
and he said, "Hey, Virgil,
A man of-
we're not friends anymore."
A man of God
Like-
just basically tells you, I don't screw off.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Everybody's got a price, but there's no amount of money that you could pay Ted DiBiase to talk to Virgil.
Yeah. Remember when he was selling autographs in the subway?
Oh God.
That's not
Or
him. That's his
try-
brother.
Trying to sell autographs?
That was his brother, Virgil.
Mergel?
Yeah, Virgil.
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 Dirgil. Or McGurgel. I mean, we can stop
perfect.
here. We can save the geek out things for next week, just in case we don't have a guest. Right? Yeah, sounds good.
But that Fallout 4 though.
I added that. I know. Okay, Fallout 4. I'm definitely looking forward to. I want it. It's. I've gotten really into survival games recently. Like not even zombie games, but the survival element. Crafting and managing your hunger and your thirst and all your health and all that stuff. I'm actually working on creating my own survival games. So I'm actually looking at all these games as not only entertainment but inspiration too. But yeah, Fallout 4 looks really good.
You play 7 Days to Die a lot, don't you?
Yes, I play it all the time. I have another friend that we have a server that we play on, and our fort is just massive, and we've just amassed so much gear and weapons and ammo and materials, and it's fun. And I'm actually thinking of writing like a guide to that game, because I mean it's still in alpha, so I could have a guide that's ready to be released once the game's released, because I've actually gotten good at like starting out in the game, because you pretty much start out naked almost, no armor, no clothing. You have like one can of like Spam, one bottle of water, a torch, and that's it. So you have to start from there and build up, your weapons and stuff. It's a really cool game. That has a lot of promise. It's still in the alpha stages, so it hasn't even reached beta yet, but it's really cool.
It's been on my wish list for a while, but
yeah.
I haven't been able to afford it.
I know, yeah. It's still $20. It hasn't gone on sale for a while, as far as I know. But that Steam sale, though, I've been getting a lot of games from that. The Steam summer sale, everybody, is going on. So buy games. Support.
I think I've gotten about 4 or 5 games so far, just little cheap ones.
Yeah. I always, if I find a game that's like if it's under $1, I almost always buy it. No matter, I don't care if it's gotten negative reviews. You know what I mean? Like, might as well add it to my library. If it's like $1 to $3, if it's good, I'll buy it. And then beyond that, it has to be really good or something that I've been looking forward to. Oh, WWE 2K15 for the PC is on sale. It's $25 on Steam, including all of the DLC. I'm probably going to pick that up.
I want it.
$25 is.
I don't have no money.
That's as low as it's going to get, so I figure I can do without lunch for 2 days. It's worth it.
Speaking of lunch, I haven't had anything really to eat.
All right,
so we'll cover it.
We're gonna end this here, everybody. This has been.
Oh, we got another 4 minutes, and then this recording will be over 2 hours.
No.
Well, we're so close to the mark.
No. Bye, everybody. Yes.
Yay.
Peace.